Last week, I spoke to MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred, who expressed the importance of passing these bonds to keeping the Rays in Tampa Bay. While I do not trust the owner of the Rays, I trust Mr. Manfred. He is committed to this market. I view him as an ally when the owner of this franchise has, for some reason, decided to become an adversary. Rob Manfred is the reason I am voting yes on this today. MLB is aware of several instances where the Rays organization has intentionally tried to kill the very deal that they agreed to. I hope our vote today helps set the wheels in motion for a new owner and a new era of Tampa Bay Rays baseball. Rays fans deserve to have our own Vinnick, Steinbrenner, Glazer, or Middleton, who cares as much about the fans and community as his own bottom line. I believe Commissioner Manfred's eyes are now wide open to the reality of our penny pinching, double-dealing ownership. He's watched one of his franchises use two devastating disasters and a few days' delay in the bond vote to try to gain an advantage for themselves. He's seen them try to torpedo their own deal by calling one of our colleagues who supported this deal a liar after he asked them to try to make a simple public pronouncement of support. He's heard them publicly call this deal dead numerous times. Mr. Manfred and MLB need to keep watching and listening, because once these bonds are passed, Stu Sternberg will demand even more money, and when he doesn't get it, he will threaten to move the team again. Most importantly, Mr. Manfred and the 29 other owners of Major League Baseball teams should see clearly now that our fans and residents deserve a new owner for our beloved team. I think it is very possible that Stu Sternberg will try to keep the land development deal and use the hundreds of millions of dollars that he will receive from that to move the Rays out of this market if we do not pass the bonds. The land deal was one of the reasons why I voted no in the first place, but I will not allow the owner of the Rays to reap the profits of that land deal while the Rays are not even playing in Tampa Bay. Because at the end of the day, Stu Sternberg will always care about his bottom line above all else. That is proven over the years. Now that this process has exposed him, I urge Mr. Sternberg to sell the team to someone who lives here, works here, and truly cares about our community. An owner who won't threaten to take his bats and balls or change the rules when the game he agreed to play isn't going his way.
I don't like the deal. I said it back in July. I think that there should be more money in the deal. There should be more money towards the stadium. I don't think the residents of St. Petersburg should be paying tax dollars for it. I don't like the deal. I don't like the finger pointing that's been going on. I don't like the negotiating with our neighbors across the bay while we're here, over the last year, working really hard to get a deal done here. I don't like the fact that their shortage, their underestimation of the costs has resulted in, like I said, making us the bad guys, and the disingenuous attitude towards one of my colleagues. All of that said, I still think we have an obligation to move the bond validation forward. There are a lot of check and balances, and Barry, I know that we won't be making any more decisions here on that, but I would obviously want updates, one-on-one updates or whatever, because ultimately you're the chief negotiator and you work for the seven of us. So I want to make sure that we're all up to date on what's going on before you take those steps that get the funds in place. Just watching carefully. I suspect that the deal, they'll want to change the deal. And when the deal wants to be changed, all bets are off, because the deal that was approved back in July, I honestly feel there's some responsibility we have to honor that. But when they start to play games with it, which we felt that big time. And we've learned more about that over the last week or two. So anyway, at this point, I will be supporting the bond validation process.
I'll still be voting no, and not because I dislike the Rays, not because I don't want baseball, and so because this isn't gonna be in the headlines, but for the people watching, the headlines are gonna be, bond moves forward. So I'm gonna use this chance to advocate that I met with the mayor of St. Pete, Mayor Welch. I met with Brian Auld, and they're all for, and I've met with a lot of community leaders and hoteliers, and they're all for a sizable convention center in the historic gas plant development. And so that's something I would like to see get done. And the business community, now that this appears, by counting the votes, is going to move forward, I would like to see that now be in the conversations with anybody who's willing to talk about it, to have a sizable convention center. Mayor Welch agrees. Brian Auld was in favor of it. Even Kathy Wood wants to bring South by Southeast convention that's in Austin. She wants to bring that to St. Pete and Pinellas County. So there's a lot of community leaders that are behind having a sizable convention center in the historic gas plant redevelopment. So I'll be voting no, but I don't want the headlines to be soured. It's not because I don't like baseball. It's not because I don't want the Rays to be here. It's because I would like to see a larger convention center in that area, and hopefully those are talks that we can have going forward now that this is concluded. Thank you.
For the 63 acres that are separate and apart, but a part of this entire project, that does include 600 units of affordable housing on site, office space for small minority and women-owned businesses, the Woodson African American Museum, which will be the first in this area. Terry Lipsy Scott served on the statewide African American Museum committee to talk about where a museum to showcase the Black history would go. It does include a hotel as well as convention space. All of that will do so much to uplift a community that has not necessarily had some of these opportunities before, to not only showcase the community, but to also provide a financial impact by way of employment. We're talking about a construction development project that will occur 10 plus years. And when you think about how this will embrace and uplift individuals in that community, it's unfathomable to me, but it is well welcomed. I do appreciate the hard questions that have been asked, and I do appreciate Commissioner Latvala for you being steadfast in wanting accountability. I think that's all you were asking for, is accountability. And so I do appreciate that. And I will have to say that all eyes will now be watching to assure that the Rays uphold their part of this deal. All I'm going to support is what we've had on the table. I said that to Barry, I've said that to Brian, I've said that to the mayor. The mayor has also stated he's not putting in any additional money other than what's already been discussed. So if something should happen and it comes back, Commissioner Eggers, I can tell you, I'm just going to tell them they need to do the best they can with what they've already gotten, because I don't have any more to give. That is something that I've stated from the beginning and something I will state also today.
I had many reasons not to want to support this today. Not say today, just because I may have supported it in the future. I just think the timing is wrong, and we put the horse in front of the cart in front of the horse. But I'll just pray that the veterans have made the best decision that they can, and that this will be a blessing to St. Petersburg, that everybody hopes it will be. And I look forward to it moving forward, even though I can't vote in favor.
I've been a supporter from the very beginning. I just realized the economic value, and I still believe that today. I think that this will add fuel to our future economy. And everything I've said the last 3 times we discussed this subject still holds true. So I'm not going to go back and rehash all of that. But I'm very appreciative of everybody and looking forward to voting in the affirmative.
Today, we made a decision to let the world know that we're still great collaborative partners. And that was my biggest concern, is that if this did not go through, we would be sending a message that we were not good collaborative partners around the nation. And we are. We're really great at collaborating, and this is just going to be one more example. Hopefully, all of the partners in this collaboration are going to be good partners, and they're all going to keep all the toys in the sandbox, and they're not going to take any and go home. But with that, I'm going to ask the clerk to bring up the voting card so that commissioners can vote. That passes 5-2. And we are going to take a break. I know the press is going to want to talk to some of us, and we're going to take a 30-minute break, so expect to be back here at 6:31. Thank you.